Okay, so picture this. You decide you're gonna walk home. Simple enough, right? But now imagine home is on the literal other side of the planet. Today, we are diving into the absolutely unbelievable story of one man who has spent nearly 3 decades walking around the entire world. It all kicked off way back in 1998. Carl Bushby set this one seemingly simple rule for himself. No planes, no trains, no shortcuts. Just his own 2 feet. That's it. He would walk from the southern tip of South America all the way back to his front door in England. A simple rule, yeah? But one with consequences so massive, it's hard to even wrap your head around.
And that one rule has led to this. 27 years. 27 years on the road, and he's not even done yet. I mean, this is a journey that has pushed the absolute limits of human endurance, of willpower, and as we'll see, of bureaucratic patience.
So where do you even start a walk around the globe? For Carl, it began at the very edge of the world, way down at the southern tip of Chile, with the entire landmass of the Americas stretching out in front of him.
And you know, the pace he set at the beginning was just incredible. He blitzed through the entire continent of South America in just 2 years. By 2004, only 6 years in, he'd already walked across Central and North America and was standing right at the edge of the Bering Strait, about to cross into Asia. But getting there meant he had to survive one of the most dangerous places on Earth first.
Yeah, this was his first, let's call it boss-level obstacle, the Darien Gap. There are no roads here. We're talking about 100 kilometers of thick, swampy, unforgiving jungle. It's infamous for being a hotspot for drug smugglers and violent rebel groups. It is a place that people fly over for a very, very good reason. And this just spells out what he was up against. For 50 absolutely grueling days, he had to navigate that jungle, actively dodge armed clashes, and he was even detained by soldiers for 18 of those days. And somehow, he still made it through. I mean, that experience alone is a Hollywood movie. But for Carl, it was just the beginning.
So after conquering the natural dangers of the Americas, Carl came face to face with a totally different kind of challenge, the immense, frozen, and bureaucratic gauntlet that is Russia.
First, of course, he actually had to get there, so he waited for the ocean to freeze solid, and then he walked across the Bering Strait from America to Asia. This is an incredible historic feat. He was walking on a shifting, cracking, frozen ocean that actually pushed him 80 kilometers off course. Just wild.
And what was his welcome to Asia? This. Temperatures in Siberia dropped to a life-threatening minus 50 degrees Celsius. I mean, to put that in perspective, that is way colder than the inside of your freezer at home. This is an environment that can literally kill you in minutes.
But believe it or not, the cold wasn't even his biggest enemy. The plan C was simple enough, just walk across Siberia. But the reality? Oh, it was a bureaucratic nightmare. Russia had these strict 90-day visa limits. That meant he could only walk for 3 months at a time before he was forced to leave the country, fly all the way home, and then fly all the way back to the exact GPS coordinate where he left off to start again. This visa loop turned what should have been a few years of walking into an 11-year-long battle.
So after finally clearing Russia, after more than a decade, the entire world threw an obstacle at him that no amount of walking, no amount of willpower could overcome. Something that stopped, well, everyone in their tracks.
4 years. For 4 long years, Carl was stuck in Kazakhstan. The pandemic shut down borders across the globe, and after decades of constant forward motion, he was forced into a complete and total standstill.
And he found himself at a literal dead end. I mean, look at this. In front of him was the massive Caspian Sea. To his north, the Russian border, closed. To his south, the Iranian border, also closed. He was completely boxed in. There was simply nowhere left to walk. So, what do you do? After more than 2 decades and tens of thousands of kilometers, is this it? Is this where the journey just ends? I mean, do you give up when your one and only rule, only on foot, seems physically impossible to follow? What would you do?
Well, Carl's answer was frankly audacious. It was brilliant. If he couldn't walk around the water, he would go through it. He decided to swim.
But how on earth did he do this and still stick to his rule? Well, this is the genius part. He and a companion got a support boat, but it was only for rest and sleep. So each day, they would swim until they were completely exhausted. Then they'd get on the boat to recover. And the next morning, they'd motor back to the exact GPS spot where they stopped, jump back in, and keep swimming. They did this day after day for 30 straight days. And they made it. In just this incredible display of creative thinking and pure, raw endurance, Carl Bushby and his companion became the very first people to ever successfully swim across the entire Caspian Sea. He found a way. He kept moving forward.
Let's just take a quick pause here to let these numbers really sink in. 27 years, 47,000 kilometers, that is more than the entire circumference of the Earth at the equator. He's crossed through 25 different countries, every single one with its own unique set of challenges. It's just staggering.
And believe it or not, the journey still isn't over. As we speak, Carl is on his final leg. He's walking across Europe. The finish line, his actual home in England, is finally in sight. He's expected to complete this unbelievable walk sometime in 2026.
And that really just leaves us with this one final thought. Carl's entire journey is this epic testament to the power of just taking things one step at a time, but doing it for decades on end. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the longest you have ever committed to a single, audacious goal?